Hello there, Amelia Joachim, your cheerleader of dreams, is back today with another episode where we are going to talk about upgrading. How can you become the best version of yourself? The best version that you are so proud of. Well, we are living in a time when everything is fast. The world has been reduced into a global village. We get information so quickly. We are constantly in touch with each other. How then can you become the best version of yourself that you are so proud of? That God is also proud of that person. Well, today we are going to explore those things that makes you to become the best version to yourself. You need to understand that when God gives you a vision, don't treat it as a cheap suggestion. There are so many people who are waiting outside of you to benefit from your obedience. So when God gives you a vision, you need to make sure that you are serious about it. You get serious on what God has called you to become. So being serious is the fundamental to achieving what God has called you to become. Whatever that you are feeling in your heart, the desire that you have, it's God who is speaking into you and say, do this. You have to make sure that you run with that vision. God has called you to write a book. What are you doing with that book? Do you know how many people are waiting for that book to be released? You are the solution to the problems that somebody out there is facing. What are you doing to save humanity? Are you taking your assignment seriously? Dr. Miles Monroe says the richest place in the world, it's not the South Africa, it's not those gold mines that we know, but it's the graveyard. So many women and men went to the grave full of potential without releasing the books that God has given them into their heart. The music that God has put into their heart. The foundations that God has given them. They went back with it. And do you know how many people that suffers because of your disobedience? God has called you to become the greatest woman or man. What are you doing? The steps that you are doing in make sure that your vision comes to life. What are you doing? Some of you may say, hey, the vision that God has given me, it's too much. I can't handle it. It needs like so many years for it to flourish. But what are you doing today to upgrade that vision? Let's take an example. We have a baobab tree, and you want that tree to be cut off. You know it's big, you cannot do it in one day. But let's give you the solution. You have your ex with you. Each day when you wake up in the morning, you take your ex and you go to the tree, you stab it 5 times. Every day in your life, you are stabbing this tree. What do you think will happen to the tree? Eventually, the tree will be down. That's more like what God has put in your heart, the dream that God has put in your heart, and you feel like it's too big for you. But there are some habits that you can do, just like the ex. Every day, you stab 5 times. What are you doing towards your dreams? Are you making achievements to make sure that your dream is becoming alive? You need to get serious on the vision that God has given you. Because when God gives you a vision, don't treat it as a cheap suggestion. There are nations that are waiting for your obedience. You carry the breakthrough to somebody's life. So many people, millions of people are waiting for you. What are you doing? What are you doing to make sure that the vision that God has put in your heart is coming to life? You need to schedule the time to be alone. We call it the alone advantage. In that period, you get to find yourself, who you are, what God has created you to become. You find solutions when you are alone. It might be 20 minutes, it might be 10 minutes. 10 minutes of meditation. You put your phones off, the music, your children. You silence any voice that is inside of you. Then you speak to God. You speak to the vision that God has given you. That's how you become the best version of yourself. Find time to upgrade yourself. And upgrading starts from the inside. What habits are you doing when you wake up in the morning? Are you aligned to your purpose, to the true value that God has created you to become? You need to get serious, brothers and sisters, on the assignment that God has put in your heart. You need to understand that when God puts a vision inside of you, He is going to hold you accountable of that thing. So it's not a matter of the things that you are going to do, but if you are not in alignment of what God has called you to become, He's going to hold you accountable when you get to heaven. He will ask you, I have assigned you to write the book. What have you done? I have assigned you to release this music. What have you done? Well, you're going to give an excuses. Oh Lord, I was so busy. My job was so demanding. I couldn't find time. And God will still say, I have put that vision into your heart. Because when I put that vision into your heart, there were so many millions of people that I was targeting through you. What have you done? So in also finding yourself to become the best version of yourself, you need to grow up. You need to grow up. How can you grow up? By investing in yourself. Make sure that you are reading. You are reading the books that is aligned to your vision. I would always say, if you want to become the bodybuilder, there is an autobiography of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He has conquered in that area. If you want to know about marketing, if you want to know about marriage, if you want to know basically about anything that you need, there are some great women of God and men of God who had invested their time and their experience in writing their autobiography. You know what if they've conquered, the steps that they've taken to get to where they are. It's a guideline. Because the word of God says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. How can you gain knowledge? It's by reading. The more you read is the more you learn. And the more you learn is the more you grow and earn. It is also important to get yourself a mentor. Somebody will be taking you the journey that you want to become. I know it's hard, but with mentors, they are like GPS. They direct you the path that you are supposed to take, the things that are needed. They devote their time, their experience to teach you. So if you want to become the best version of yourself, you need to make sure that there is a voice that you follow inside of you. A voice that speaks to you. The voice that constantly speaks into your life. That's how you become the best version of yourself. And I pray that as you be watching this episode, God will be transforming your life. You will be metamorphosed into another level, into another realm. God is uplifting your vision. God is putting the spirit of consistency in your heart, in your mind. God is reviving your soul. He is reviving your body. He is reviving your mind. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and may God bless you. Peace.